Discuss Ben Simmons in this situation and what needs to really be learned from this. Ben Simmons is a talented basketball player that was hyped as the sort of like the next LeBron James. He was sort of mentioned in that particular manner. People may not remember it, but when he was going into LSU, top basketball prospect, then getting drafted into the NBA, he was considered somebody that was the future of the NBA. And he started out, as a young player would, right? But you saw the promise there. That's why they gave him the extension. But he also had issues. And I think he might have had issues going on for quite some time. Now, he's sitting out games. He wants to be traded. And he has his representatives saying, well, he can't practice because he's dealing with mental health issues. He can't play. He has to deal with that. And he also wants to get traded. What's interesting is I think that what's going on with Ben Simmons is a culmination of things. One is that his game has regressed. And his particular shot has not gotten any better. He has not improved as a player. It could be the people who are coaching him. It could be the system he's played in. It could be his teammates. And maybe he's not meshing well. Okay? I'm not blaming his teammates, but I'm saying that I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he's a guy who you can look to go and make the big shot or to make the big play. He's a guy that's really talented, but his mind is not in basketball. This is why you're seeing reports about him running out of money and possibly coming back to play because he's running out of money. He's being fined. He's buying 2 mansions. He buys a new car every other month. He lives an expensive lifestyle. And he has sort of forgotten the fact that, you're an NBA player first. That's why they drafted you, and that's why they gave you that big extension, because they believe that you're a franchise player. But Ben Simmons doesn't believe that. I think Ben Simmons would probably prefer to go and be a number 2 option, or maybe even number 3. Some guys just are not leaders. Some guys are just not gamers. Some guys are just not going to be there. And it seems to me Ben Simmons preferred chasing Kendall Jenner around than actually caring about being a better and better basketball player. Now he's sitting out games. He wants to get traded, and he's citing mental health issues. And I do think that Kendall Jenner helped ruin him because she had this back and forth relationship with him. They be together, they break up. She even cheated on him. He's continued to deal with her back and forth. She would come to games. He would go from having that type of attention from that type of person, from no longer having that. She's dealing with another player. So he's back to, being him. So he goes and, dates another woman who has some notoriety over in the UK. Right? He likes dating famous chicks, and he also likes to have an expensive lifestyle. And he also doesn't seem to have his focus where it should be. He's too busy out here chasing these women. He's too busy out here spending money, and he's not really providing anything on the court that is going to tell those people, those fans, that he's worth the money and he's worth being the franchise guy. Now his teammates don't like him. Like, he is burning every bridge possible with the Philadelphia 76ers, with his teammates, coaches, and whatever issues he has going on, hopefully he's getting it addressed. Because once your representatives say that, this guy has mental health issues that he needs to address, then he needs to be addressing those issues. He needs to be seeing a psychiatrist. He needs to be focusing on his mental health and not working out in the gym, which is what he's doing. He's actually working out. He's actually working out what I believe was it, the St. Joseph's basketball team. I know he could be doing both, but it just seemed to me he really wants out of there. I think he got tired of the heat that he was getting from the fan base and the media in Philadelphia, which can be very vicious, and he wants out of there. Okay? If a guy wants out of that spotlight, you made him a franchise player with the contract you gave him. You tried to build that team. Tried to make him the focal point of the team, and he still wants out. That's because he doesn't want to be the number one guy. He doesn't want to be the number one guy. He doesn't want to be the guy that's looked upon as a leader, that's looked upon to answer the questions and the team does not do well. That's not him. He's more of a background guy. And what a lot of men got to understand is you have to stay focused and be on your road to success, to greatness. Don't get derailed by these women. Listen, when you're successful and everything is going good for you, you're going to be sent these particular derailers in your life. Derailers could be vanity. It could be women. It could be clingy, greedy family members who try to cling on to you because they think you're going to take care of them. So we have to deal with all these different things. I spoke about my other video. I'll put it in the description box. The other video I did about Ben Simmons. His brother was accused of doing things to his sister. And his sister is the one who said it. And he has to deal with that as well. Because he's close with his sister and he's close with his brother. He even bought his brother a new car. And posted about it on Instagram. His sister has issues that she has dealt with. And he talks about his mental health issues. And what I said in the other video, he uses money to self-medicate. And I don't think it's working. He has 2 mansions in Philadelphia, multiple cars. He loves buying new cars. He has this whole expensive lifestyle. Yes, he's an NBA player, but they're not making LeBron James money. They're not all making, what, let's say a Steph Curry or some of these other guys that's on their second $100 million contract or whatnot, right? So this is his first $100 million contract, and he's blown through a lot of it. And he's being fined and he's not being paid since the start of the season. So he's still living that expensive lifestyle, spending money still going out while he's sitting out because he hasn't saved anything. That's why the Philadelphia 76ers have not moved him yet, because they feel like they're going to be able to wait him out. And they know he's going to come back to them eventually because of his spending habits. See, if he didn't have bad spending habits, they probably would have traded him because he's probably going to sit out the whole season. A lot of guys got to understand you're going to have these issues that you really need to address. Never be afraid to address your mental health. Never be afraid to kick those clingy, greedy family members to the curb. Never be afraid to leave some of these thotties alone. I don't care how good she look. I don't care how big of a following she has. You want to have this stupid, celebrity relationship that goes nowhere. You're going to end up in a situation where you're like Ben Simmons. You're losing money. You're sitting out games. You got mental health issues. I wonder how you got those mental health issues. We could talk about the fan reactions. We could talk about the media reaction to him. But I think the mental health thing is something that he's dealt with for a long time. Because the thing is, just because somebody is functional does not mean that they're not hurting. Does not mean that they don't have, situations going on that they're dealing with pain. And Ben Simmons probably has been dealing with pain for a long time, but he's just dealt with it because he had to. Basketball was an escape for him all the way up until the NBA. But once you have the lockdowns, once you have time to really sit and delve with those demons that you never really got rid of, you're dealing with a woman that doesn't want you. She just wants to siphon your fame, which is what the Jenner Kardashians do. The Jenner Kardashians do nothing but sap away at your fame and notoriety. Kendall Jenner did it with Blake Griffin. Took Blake Griffin from a woman that he was planning on marrying. Now she is with this other guy who needs to be careful before she siphon his energy and his fame to feed hers. And I just don't think he's ever been the same. I think the situation with Kendall Jenner has played a huge part into where he is right now, which is why hopefully he addresses his mental health and gets himself together. Stop buying cars, stop buying mansions to self-medicate, and get help, get therapy, and really try to figure out you're putting your career, I would say, first. He doesn't have any children. He's not married. So get back to putting your career first and focusing on being the best basketball player you can be. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.